Let me get this straight. There was a moment that you really loved and you felt your best and you looked your best and you really wanted to capture it but didn't? Or you want to make a video because you want to share your voice, your passion, your experience, but you can't seem to hit record? Did you muster up the courage to do it in the end, but now you're stuck in this paralysis because you want to post it, but I don't know, should I do it? Should I not? Is it even good enough? We've all seen that girl lifestyle where you are working to become the best version of yourself. It's not just how it looks to other people, it's not about the pretty pictures, the aesthetics, posting it on social media, it is a lifestyle, as in the accumulation of all the things that you love and you want to become better at in your life, put together and working alongside each other. And one of the most integral parts of that and foundational parts of that is mindset. When you lay down those bricks first, you'll be able to let go of limiting beliefs, not just for capturing the moment, but to actually have the best experience living the moment. This is not just your hot girl summer era. In fact, it's not even summer. This is your hot girl life for your hot girl ambitions. And your journey starts here. Before we even begin to unravel the limiting beliefs, you have to actually know what they are. What is it that you're dealing with here? What is stopping you from putting yourself out there? You have to actually introspect and take some time for yourself, because without that, none of it matters, because you'll always bump into the same things over and over again if you don't start dealing with it now. I know there are some people who are like, okay, journaling doesn't matter, it doesn't do anything for me, and that's totally fine. Find another medium if you need to, but I think the most straightforward way is just to grab a pen and a paper and just write everything down. Just do a brain dump is what I call it, because when you get it out of your head and onto a more tangible form, you'll be able to actually see, like, that's interesting, I didn't know that existed, or like, okay, cool, like that seems more manageable now that it's not this like scary idea in my head. And this isn't a time for you to like create fluff for yourself, because no one else is gonna see this paper. Only you are gonna be seeing this, and you have to be really honest with yourself if you want to be moving forward. Sit down with yourself and be like, am I afraid of that? Is that really what's stopping me, or is there something more to unravel? And there's this common thing in personal development where you always ask why. So there are many layers to it. I suggest at least 3. So what that means is like, you first go into it like, okay, why do I feel this way? And then you write your answer and you're like, okay, why that? And then you just keep going down the list. And the further you can get down that list, I think is actually a really good thing, because then you'll really get to the root of the problem. Is it imposter syndrome that I'm dealing with? Is it fear of judgment, fear of failure, lack of support? If it's any of those, I'm gonna be going through that right now, so stick around. Let's start off with the most common one, imposter syndrome, aka feeling undeserving. That's the way that I see it. I feel like when you have imposter syndrome, you feel like you are undeserving, whether it be of the space that you're in or people's time, whatever that is, you feel this disassociation from where you are trying to be versus where you internally feel you are. You feel like, who am I to be saying XYZ or posting XYZ? Am I being disingenuous? Like, is this really me? Is this really for me? And by the way, everyone has a different side of them. The person who they put online is not necessarily the same person who they are alone, in the same way where who you are on the job is not the same person who you would be hanging out with your friends with, right? It's just different sides of who you are portrayed through different experiences and different environments. And I'll get more into that in another video, but what I'm trying to say is that all of those people who you present yourself as in different environments, they're all still a part of you. The only way to do the job is to actually do the job. Just like how when you show up for the first day of work, you don't know what you're doing, even if you have the degrees. In the same way where you are trying to do the thing that you're trying to do online, you won't know how to get used to that until you actually do it. But the difference is that you can have a lack of belief in yourself, or you can have the belief that you'll actually get the job done and learn along the way. You can be as big or small as you want in this world, and that size will depend on your sense of self-worthiness and value. Let me ask you a question. Why are you not deserving of it? If other people are out there making a living off of the things that they post, why is it that you feel like you are undeserving of just posting it for fun? Posting it because you love whatever you took, because you want to put yourself out there, because you want to express yourself. Why is it that you think that you are so undeserving when other people deserve to take up that space? All it takes is a little bit of learning and a little bit of like boosting yourself up, because those people do have the confidence. That's really like, I really feel like that is the gap, right? And confidence doesn't come overnight. Like I said, being that girl is a lifestyle. In the same way that you don't build a habit overnight, you won't build this overnight. So this is something to keep in your mind for a very long time moving forward if you want to start putting yourself out there. Don't be afraid to take up space in this world. There's more than enough space for everybody, right? And you are deserving of that space. You need to tell yourself that, because that's the barrier that you need to cross in order to get rid or not really get rid, because you can't entirely always get rid of imposter syndrome, because I feel like you'll always have that no matter what, because you're always going to be up-leveling life. You're always going to be challenging yourself with new experiences, and with new experiences come the unknown. But the more and more that you practice that mindset of trying to cross that barrier of being like, no, I deserve to be here. It's not limited and it's not mutually exclusive. There's nobody gatekeeping you from that position except for yourself, right? Like, sure, there are haters out there. There are people who will judge you, and I'll get more into that later. Ultimately, you decide whether or not that's a place that you want to step into and like face the challenges that will come across your way. You know you are proud of your work and you are ready to put it out there. So why not, right? But don't be an a-hole about it too, right? You can have your space, and you can take up all the space that you want. You can be whatever size that you want, but you can also still have that sense of self-awareness, that compassion for other people, and also just humility, you know? Another kind of limiting belief comes from the fear of being disliked. This is kind of like the fear of judgment or the need to please everybody. The internet is so big, you are not going to be able to please everyone. You are going to make some people unhappy eventually. So before you go down that rabbit hole, you need to actually first know what matters to me and then let go of the rest. When you're putting yourself out there and posting yourself out there on social media, it is such a big and public space that, yeah, the internet will kind of rip you apart. But there is polarity. I was reading a book by Daryl Eves, and he talks about this polarity where when people attack you, people will come and defend too. Because that's kind of the nice thing about the internet. There's always bound to be someone who doesn't like your work and then someone who does. You can't be living your life online and also in public, like trying to please everybody. You don't try to go up to people and be like, hey, please like me. I have this value. Like, do you see the value? No, you just go out there and you do your thing, and you live your life the way that you know how, because that's what you enjoy the most. That's what makes you happy, and I feel like that's kind of all that matters when you're like posting on social media, right? It doesn't make you happy. Are you proud of this work? There is a lack of sympathy, a lack of empathy for people out there, and I understand, like, it's not everyone's duty to care, but it is your duty to care about yourself. So that's why I'm saying, like, you gotta put yourself first. You gotta be like, okay, this is my boundary, this is what I care about, and what everyone else thinks about that topic, it doesn't matter to me. Something that really helps me when I feel like I really am paralyzed by that fear sometimes, maybe you just can't help it, is knowing that it's so fleeting. The moment is so fleeting. So it's kind of like when you are in person walking on the street and you do something embarrassing, yeah, people will look at you for a second and then they'll walk away and they won't remember any of that, right? In the same way where online you do something that someone else doesn't like, they can just click away. It feels really permanent, but you just have to take it with a grain of salt and just be like, all right, I did that, it's kind of stupid, or like I did that, it was kind of embarrassing. Like, I have so many embarrassing videos from my past on YouTube that have now all been private and you won't see it. But those are really, really embarrassing to me. But guess what? Like, I did it, and now I'm here. Now I'm here to be able to help you. Everyone has a phase in their life where they did something embarrassing that they don't want anymore, or that they do like, that they still continue to like and still continue to stand by. You stick by your word and people will come support you. I will actually give you a really good example of this. I saw this makeup tutorial by Julia Fox, right? And if you don't know her by now, just YouTube all her videos. And the things that she says is pretty out there. But you know what? When I was watching that makeup tutorial of her, I think she calls it like Fox liner wing or something like that, I was reading the comments expecting to see like trolls there, but every single, like majority, I would say like 80% of those comments, people were like cheering her on. People were like, yeah, you go girl, you do your thing. And I support it. So again, that polarity that I was talking about, it's important and it will happen for you too. You know what else cultivates limiting beliefs? Being around the wrong kinds of people. If you grew up being a people pleaser and you let people walk all over you, this is your moment to become ruthless. The longer I've been on this content creator journey, the harder I stand by this fact. You need to surround yourself with the right kinds of people who will help you grow in order for your growth to be exponential. It is crucial to have the right kind of voices in your head, the kind of people who you look up to. Your friends, your circle should inspire you. I really think that saying if you are the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room is just such a helpful guidance towards being in the right environment. You need to declutter the people who are not helpful anymore, and I think everyone goes through this phase. When I say ruthless, I mean it. It might be a little bit harsh, and I don't really mean like you have to like be rude to their faces and like, I'm cutting you off out of my life. You don't help me anymore. There's nothing worse than having a group of people by your side who constantly put you down, who tell you that your passions are silly, who don't encourage your hobbies and just like kind of like take you as a joke. Don't be around the people who will make you really insecure because they constantly put you down because they don't want to see you grow. Those kind of people don't want you to be happy because they're not happy themselves. Don't stay around for none of that backhanded compliment shit. Or like the ones who ridicule you for trying something new, for trying something different. I literally have like flashbacks when I say that about friends who used to do that for me. I was trying something new, I was trying to branch out of my comfort zone, and I feel like when you hear those voices in your head, that is the anchor that will keep you in the same place and not allow you to thrive to the next phase of your life, right? So this decluttering is gonna be this phase of your life where you need to start sorting through. It's just like how you sort your closet, how you sort your room. You need to declutter it so that you can bring in new energy. If you want to have those kind of friendships, you also have to be able to give those kind of friendships. It's not just about taking away from people. If this person is on the same wavelength as you and they're on the same grind as you, they're also going to be looking for other people to elevate their life in a certain way. Don't be that jealous person that jealous friend who like looks at their friend and they're like, oh my god, you're doing so well, and then like secretly turn around and be like, oh my god, I'm so jealous of them, like them, why are they doing so well and why am I not doing so well? It's not necessary. It's not necessary. And if you find yourself doing that, is it envy or is it jealousy? One time I heard that there's a difference between jealousy and envy. One comes from inspiration and one comes from resentment, and it's coming back to that identification that we're talking about, right? The very first step. If you really feel like this person is constantly bringing out this negative attitude from you, maybe it's time you distance yourself from this person. It is really hard to make friends, but at the same time, it's hard to make the right friends. The right ones will understand, the right ones will help you, and the right ones will be there to back you up. The right ones will talk about you behind your back in the best way possible. Don't do yourself the disservice of being around the wrong kinds of people. And if you really feel like the people around you currently are not those kind of people that I'm talking about, are not the ones who will hype you up, are not the ones who will take your post seriously or just like kind of like backhanded comment like, oh, that's cute. Find new people. And if you don't even know where to start, this channel is a really great place to start. You can start by liking this video and subscribing to this channel so that I can be that person for you. And then the people in the comments and this community can be that person for you, because there are only hot girl minds and hot girl ambitions here. And now you have that too. This huge looming cloud over our heads that I'm gonna fail, I'm gonna not be able to achieve what I want is such a limiting belief that hinders us all. It's such a scary concept because when you put yourself out there, you expect some results. You expect something to happen, something magical to happen, because you put all your sweat, blood, tears into this, whatever it is, your picture, your project, whatever, your video, and it flops. But the thing is, I feel like that should be expected. And I know this isn't the first time you've heard it before, but I definitely need to reiterate it. When you put your stuff out there, don't expect it to be world class, right? Like nobody starts from level 100. I feel like this fear of failure is like the final monster in like all the levels in video games. You may or may not pass this level the first time, but then you come back and you try again and you try again and try again. In my opinion, you've only won if you have failed. It's kind of like someone who's never learned to cook because they've never overburnt a dish or they never oversalted a meal, right? Like there's no way that you would learn how to do any of those things unless you have actually failed to do that. Learning is attractive. It's not just that you radiate this new aura of experience under your belt. It's just more experiences that you get to go through in life over time. And honestly, that's where the best stories are made. The best moments in life are when you failed, because right after failure comes growth. 99 times out of 100, you fail, but it only takes that one moment, that one post, that one video, that one anything that really just skyrockets you into this next place in your life. And then all of that will just have accumulated, all of that growth, all of that failure, all of that knowledge that you have, you know now, to implement it in your next round. Every time you hear a successful YouTuber talk, they always say there was 100 videos that I made before this point. 100 videos. You know how many videos that is? It is a lot, okay? I've actually created 100 videos that you will not see. I don't even feel like I implemented any of the things that I know now in that video, which is crazy to me because I had no idea of my own growth and editing skills and eye for creativity until I watched those videos back in this place that I am right now, and watch those back and I'm like, oh my god, I could have added B-roll there, I could have added this angle there, I could have had voiceovers, I could have talked to the camera. I wasn't even looking at the camera. I was like, because I was really nervous in front of the camera, and that's gonna happen. And if you feel like you are camera shy and you don't really know where to start, you can check out this video over here. Everyone sucks at first, okay? Failure is really important to your journey. In fact, you should get to a point where you love the failure. It's very hard to do, and I'm not always there yet, but I'm also like, I don't really see the failures that I have in my life now as failures. My failures now are like my badge of honor, my badge of existence, because I know one day I'm gonna look back on my videos, the videos that I've put out even right now, but I'm gonna look back on those one day and I'm be like, that's what got me here. So don't disregard them. In fact, honor them. Honor yourself and be kind to yourself. That girl life that you see on Instagram, it really isn't about perfection. It's really not about how it looks to the algorithm. It goes without saying that you can live that girl lifestyle without having to post anything. Okay, there are definitely people out there who are living the most optimum life and you have no idea because they're not on social media, they're not posting it, and that's totally fine. But if you are here and you are trying to start your content creator journey and you're like, I do want to be out there, I want to share my voice, I want to share my story with the world, then you most certainly deserve to do that. It all starts with the belief that you are fully capable of taking on this project and you're fully capable of taking control of it and your mind. You need to know that this is the place that you want to be and you're going to commit to this vision that you have. So you're going to say this with me. I commit to the vision. If you find yourself stuck with these limiting beliefs or other ones that I didn't mention today, you need to have this like mantra to anchor you because it'll act as your north compass. Whenever you feel lost and drained with your own thoughts or other people's thoughts, you need to have that thing that will really like pull you towards this dream. And so when you say this mantra or whatever mantra that you choose, it'll act as a reminder to your own commitment to your vision and to yourself. I hope this was helpful for some of you guys. I hope that this has touched some of you guys to change your limiting beliefs and change your mindset and really help you get to where you need ASAP so that you can start living the best version of your life and being that girl. Thank you so much for being here and listening to me. Leave a comment down below if any of this has resonated with you guys or if there's anything that you want to talk about more because I'm here to chat. So with that being said, go create a life that you're proud of. See you next time. Bye!